Good morning. So what happens is we get in the room. Yeah, there's no rhythm. There's very few people in the room and very few people online. And everybody comes in the last minute. And then we're trying to peg one of the co-hosts, but you can't peg them because people keep joining the meeting. So it's like playing musical chairs. Anyway, so this is what the first week of December feels like. It's like, why? Come on, guys. There's so much going on out there. Hi, Angie. Did you see the hot sheet last week? We had 3 days of 12, 15, and 19 sales a day. We did 46 sales in 3 days last week. And I talked to Sam last night, and she's got a lot of business coming in today, so hot sheet will look good. There are still deals. Jeanette walked up the elevator with me this morning, and you sold a Lennar yesterday, Saturday. So sales are going, and those of you who are showing up, so preaching to the choir, thank you for showing up. Let's jump on into our agenda. I got a lot to cover today. Is my sound registering okay? Sweet. I want to call out to Joy and Laura and Chris and Jimmy, who put on a real, and everybody who showed up, and Ray Monahan. We had a Toys for Tot event. Here we were the distribution center for Toys for Tots for South County. And I don't know, we had 80 bikes, was it? 81 bikes, and I don't know how many boxes of toys were dropped off here.
Yeah, we had two big moving trucks, rider trucks. They're full-size trucks full of boxes of presents, the Toys for Tots bins and bikes, 81 bikes, and then boxes upon boxes stocked up. And we still actually have some more people bought some things in earlier this week and over the weekend. So we have a couple more boxes they're going to come back and pick up.
Wow, that's super cool. All right, so let's kick off. Otis, why don't you read number one? You're muted.
Sorry about that. I gotta just, all right. Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. Henry David Thoreau.
Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. That's kind of what we're doing. We're gonna spend a lot of time talking about our mastermind, big ass smile group, because when you're busy looking for it, you find shit, right? And we're gonna find that, and you guys are gonna talk about it in a little bit.
What you seek, you shall find.
There you go. It's biblical if you want to call it that. Number two, the road to success and the road to failure are almost the exact same. Number three, success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to become the best of which you are, of which you're capable. That's what we're talking about today too. You know, I mean, you're free to take off whenever you want to, you're independent contractors, but if you're using the holiday season as a reason to not work, that's not right. Because there's too many things happening out there. Chris, what's your number four?
A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty.
Isn't that relevant for today too? Those of you who are showing up and working today, you're seeing the opportunity because everybody else is screwing up.
It's always relevant. When the pandemic hit, the people who saw it as an opportunity took advantage of Zoom, took advantage of online, and started really doing some marketing and getting out that way.
Yeah.
So
it's just a matter of effort. What are we going to talk about today? Clarity, focus, and accountability. Yep. Right. That's in my agenda coming up. Number five, there are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third way is to be kind. Mr. Rogers, right?
I think we have to have that discussion with a lot of agents, or at least put out a PSA, because, oh my goodness, everybody acts like they're on $1 million listing and like they're fighting for, you know, a $10 million commission. They're just, I just don't understand it. Like if you're just nice and you're kind, I mean, sometimes you find a way to remind them. So I had somebody that was giving me a really hard time, and I just said, hey, last time I checked, my name wasn't on that contract and neither was yours. We're supposed to be here making this work out for the buyers and sellers. Why do we have this animosity and all of this going on? I don't understand it. And he stopped and he goes, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know what got the best of me. I apologize. Let's see what we can do to work it out.
Yeah. Jeanette just had a dealing with a Lennar rep. He tried to slide a 1% commission on her contract. And she says, wait a minute. Yeah, she had to argue with the guy to get up, but she got him up to a 3% commission. So good for you. Cool. So last phrase says, remember, keep going. There's a lot of business to be done, and there is, and you'll see it when the hot sheets come out today. Next slide. Okay, let's get Megan up. Because I want her to go back to work. She's gonna have a busy month.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I wanted to jump in and remind everybody that we have our training on Thursday morning at 8:30. It is on social media. Lisa and Heather will be on with me as well. So would love to see everybody's faces bright and early on Thursday. And then just a reminder, we do have our troop tree out in Apollo Beach in the lobby. If you wanted to adopt a troop, you don't have to come to Apollo Beach. You can contact me directly, and I can send you the troop, send you everything you need for it. We also do have one in our Brandon Hillsborough title office off of Bloomingdale. So if that is more convenient for you, there is one in their lobby as well. Stop on by. Take a picture with your ornament. I will send them out if you just contact me. So you will have one even if you don't just come to Apollo Beach. We've had a lot of people already adopt a troop and it's amazing. So please contact me if you'd like to adopt one.
Cool. You want to talk about your boss? Aaron Davis?
Oh yeah. So, I mean, it was a while ago, but, Aaron did with his brother, they went to, I want to say it was Fort
Hurricane relief.
Myers right
Yeah.
after the hurricane. And, he had gotten a whole bunch of chainsaws and they went out and they cleared out a whole bunch of stuff down there.
Rated by People's Magazine as one of the kindest people in the world.
He was, they were on the
I got
Kelly
the email.
Clarkson show for it and they got recognized a lot for it. It was incredible. It's incredible to be a part of a company like that.
Yeah, that was very cool. I got that in my email to show you later.
Very cool.
Next. Thank you, Megan.
You are very welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, so what I'd like to do next is we got this mastermind group going on. And Chris, since you're here, we'll start with you. Because the agents that have engaged are doing amazing things. And not only are they getting business now, but they're preparing for more business in the future. And they're raising their self-esteem because they're proving that they can control what happens in their life. And I think that's the coolest part about it. So tell us what Melissa did, or let Melissa tell us what she did. Because they're super proud of you.
So hang on to this.
And talk
and
real
I'll
close
ask
to it.
you a couple of questions. That you gotta, it's a shotgun speak directly into it. So everybody knows we're doing our agent mastermind right now. And the people who are showing up with intentions are creating opportunities. So really quickly, I got an email a couple of days ago. And this is what my email said, and I'll let Melissa take it from there. Hey, Chris, want to give you an update on this week's completed tasks. I knocked on 150 doors in Waterset, passed out 200 flyers for Toys for Tots in Waterset and Publix exiting customers in the shops.
What a great thought that was.
Yep.
They came to you.
Like literally, they're right here, right next to the office, Toys for Tots flyers and invite. Yeah, that big building right there. We're going to be there. Why don't you come this weekend? Then I DM'd 100 contacts. I called 5 for sale by owners. I asked if I could stop by and preview the property in case I came across the buyer that it matched. 2 out of 5 said yes. 1 said yes, but I'm not paying you a commission. So if that's what you're coming for, save your trip. 2 of them said no. Created my listing preview in Moxie. No significant success stories to tell other than each day I'm inching my way out of my comfort zone. Got almost 3 miles in while bringing awareness about this weekend's Toys for Tots event. My business page reach has increased 6,100% in the last 7 days compared to last week's. I tracked the neighborhoods I door knocked with my Nike app below, and I'm committed to doing 2 more tomorrow. That's all right. So that's a 1 week. Those actions right there would put a lot of people's months or quarters to shame sometimes, but that's 1 week opportunity, 1 week of commitments that you made. What was it that caused you to say, screw it, I've got to do something. I'm going to step up and I'm going to start doing it now?
I just got tired of being in a standstill. I want to do something with myself and I want to change and I want to do better. So I joined the Mastermind group and it's been amazing. The accountability in that group is exactly what I need to achieve my goals. And I know that's something that I need, because if it wasn't for that group, I could say, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And I would never do it.
There's nothing happening this year. We'll wait till next year to get started. Right. But it started as a big ass smile mastermind group. And you did the big ass smile mastermind group. And I think I remember what your big ass smile was. Do you remember?
I filled out are you talking about the form?
Business plan.
Yeah, I just honestly, I was a little confused about that. I based that off of this last quarter
Mhm.
and not for 2023.
Mhm.
So I just put on there, I wanted to earn $5,000 to go on a vacation.
Right.
Mhm.
So you had a why. That was my purpose.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool. Thank you, Chris. All right. Let's see. Next up, Thomas, you were going to talk about Lauren.
Well, real quick,
Okay.
the conversations that you're having with people, how are those conversations going?
Oh, good point.
Well, for instance, with the for sale by owners, they're really, they don't want to talk to me. The two were willing to let me come over, and I'm actually going over this week to preview the properties. I just basically let them know that I don't have any buyers right now, but we are in a shortage of market. So I just want to keep an eye of what's going on out there in case I do come across somebody. I do know that with all the emails and the holiday cards and stuff, I did get a call last night from a person that I was working with 2 years ago with a condo, and I sent her a holiday card and she reached out to me. She was trying to get her cousin to buy the property. It's a 3-person on the title. Her cousin fell through. She got my holiday card. She called me up. She's like, I'm ready to list the property. She's like, I went to court. They assigned up a power of attorney, and she's like, I can't wait anymore. It's been mandated. I have to sell the property. So she's like, let's get it going.
Nice.
So I'm going to work with hopefully Chris today to work on that listing presentation and get that signed again.
That's awesome.
Didn't you also get a preview appointment from one of your door knocking?
I did. She's canceled twice though.
Okay.
She's canceled twice. So is what I'm doing is I'm just emailing her information,
Mhm.
and I'm going to figure out a reason to knock on her door again. And hopefully
Perfect.
she doesn't cancel again.
I mean, the point is that you scheduled an appointment, she canceled, you followed up, you scheduled an appointment, she canceled, you're going to follow up. And that's really what the name of this game is
Yeah,
right now. Is
7
follow up,
callbacks.
follow up. Tis the season for follow up, because that's what this season is really all about. Making the contacts, making the follow up, creating the connections, keeping those connections going.
You're stocking the pond for next year.
I'm sorry.
You're stocking the pond for next year.
Yes.
Would you have had any of the opportunities, any of the appointments, this condo
Prospects.
listing? Would you have had any of those opportunities if you weren't showing up on Mondays and Fridays and doing the things that we are asking you to do and being held accountable to it?
Absolutely not. And I've gone through the Teachable program, and I've downloaded the scripts. I've downloaded the marketing guides, and every single day I have a schedule. Okay, this is what I'm doing at this time. And I'm reaching out to the Spheres and Angie and her amazing, marketing material. I'm just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it because I really, really, really want this. And 2023 is going to be my year.
That's right.
Nice.
Love it.
Awesome. I love it.
Senor Simmons.
Good morning, team. So I just want to just share this first part about Lauren. Lauren came to us about four and a half years ago. And one of the things that Lauren found out her why. She was making $40,000 a year, and she was doing a 9-to-5, and she did not like the office setting. And there was a time when her back was against the wall, and she was just had a total meltdown. And her soon-to-be husband, fiance, told her, you have, I don't know what month we were in, but you have until like March of the following year to get your shit together. And let me tell you something. She found that why. She would turn in coaching forms that were totally blank, and she would send them in every single week. Until this day, she sends it in, but it has a whole lot of other information on the prospect. So what I'm telling you is that, guys, that even though she didn't have anything going, she's used the system and the tools, and now she's making $200,000 a year. So I don't want to steal her thunder. So I want her to tell us what's working for her in the mastermind class. So Lauren, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, sounds so exciting.
Well, Melissa is a very hard act to follow there. It's like she just dropped the mic. So kudos to her. I have been, I'm motivated. I have a very strong why, but I still need, you know, and, encouragement. And it's like on Mondays and Fridays, I like to have, who doesn't like to play games, and challenges. I like to have a challenge. And if somebody says, do it, I'm going to do it. I like anything you guys throw out at me, I'll do it. What's been very, and I also have to say about Thomas, he's been excellent. He believed in me when I was new to the business. It'll be 6 years in April. I can't believe it. And Thomas is always there to give you a high five and a pat on the back and a foot up your butt when you need it. And yes, I did. I threw in the coaching forms that had a bunch of zeros on them. And now I said one day I'm not going to have enough room on the coaching forms, and that day has come. So what's been working for me, the Preferred Client Club, I send those out, magazines, and most recently the challenges with the texts and the video.
You don't mind, tell us about the video text you did, because you did a lot of them.
Yeah, I did. I did whatever you told us to do, like the 100, and the only thing I didn't do was the +5, because thank goodness Jeff gave a green light he gave his blessing to not prospect, because I've been working my past clients, and those people that were taken out of the market when the interest rates went up. So I've been saying, hey, hello, the market has shifted to your favor now. You have time to think. You don't have to give up your firstborn. We can actually ask for concessions. And to my past clients and my SOI, because I'm on social media a lot, it's nothing that they wouldn't expect from me to have a video. And what's fun with that was, with the video text I was sending out, I was getting video text back, and from my clients, the Sphere, and I mean everybody, that the engagement was great. And I also got still shots. I got selfies with them holding my cards and my magazines that they received. So mirror matching, your tribe, everybody becomes your tribe, and then they're mirror matching what you do. So that was fun, and it warmed my heart. So now I know how they felt when I sent out the video texts to them.
Cool. And she had fun doing it, right?
Yeah, and I have 3 appointments this week from it, and and a lot of the past clients were referrals to begin with, like 3 years ago, and now those people are referring their friends and family. Like one referral, I'm working on a 5th transaction from a Zillow referral from 3 years ago.
Almost like some of the stuff we say works. Julie, are you with us? There you are.
Yes, I am. We're going to spotlight Mindy Smith and Sarah McIntyre. I sent a link for the video that they're doing for this year's what we're calling the Joy Drive for the beaches. And they put together this great video. And just to give you a little background, I like to plug Mindy and Sarah because Jim and I are such big fans of the disc, and we are always talking about how the agent archetypes come into play with people teaming up together. They're a perfect match because Mindy is a DI, she's a prospector networker, and Sarah is an SC and makes her a marketer converter. And together they make what I like to call the super agent. And they don't always necessarily team up and list things together, but they work together in the office, and they
Motivate.
are always bouncing ideas off of each other. And yeah, if you want to play that video and kind of show what they did, they've been sending this out to everybody.
The creativity of getting out and talking to people, and there's so many different ways to do it. You could do it by door, you could do it by Publix, you can do it by Facebook, by Instagram, and look what they did. You don't have to play the whole thing, but just get the concept.
Hey everyone, we're here with exciting news about our 16th annual toy drive in the IRB community that we've now expanded to call our Joy Drive. We're giving gifts to families and children like we always do, but this year with the growing needs of the community, we've also expanded to include elderly individuals as well as our beloved pets. To help us help these families and children in need, we have Christmas trees with lists of the donations that families and children have requested. So you can help us help these families by picking up a Christmas tree just like this. We have a list of all the needs that the families are requesting.
You can also drop off a monetary donation or go online to irbhome.com and do it there. We're collecting all the way to December 19th, where we'll have our final community party here in the parking lot of Chicago Jacks and Century 21 Beggins.
We have a total of 70 families so far who have signed up and given us wish lists. So far, 25 of those have been claimed, but we have at least 30 more individual families with multiple kids who are still left to be claimed, and that list is still continuing to grow.
You can also donate by giving a monetary donation, and we'll do the shopping for you. Feel free to drop off a check or cash to the Century 21 office in Indian Rocks Beach, or you can go online to irbhome.com and make one there. We also have a few other needs that Sarah can tell you about.
So some big needs include bikes, toys for kids, especially infants, educational materials. We have some specific needs for shoes and things like that, but we're also looking for food for the food pantry. So anything non-perishable, cereals, soups, canned goods, things like that we're looking for as well too.
Every year without fail, this community blows us away with your generosity and gifts that come out of everywhere. You guys bring so much joy and help so many families, and we're counting on you this year to do it again.
So thank you so much to all of our restaurant and venue partners. You guys are really such a huge part of making this happen. And the community also, thank you. We appreciate all your support. We'll see you at the next 5 events and at our thank you party on December 19th.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they work well together, you know, and they're different spectrums in their personal life too. And that's what makes them a good team. You know, Mindy's has children, Sarah doesn't, you know, there's different things that pull them away from their job, but they still are wanting that accountability, and they get that with each other.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's the comments online too. Cool. I just want you to see there's business going on, and the more you engage, the more you're going to get. And you guys know that because you're showing up here. All right, next one up. All right, so just a clarity, focus, and accountability are the things we're talking about. Get clarity on what you want, focus on doing your activities, and be accountable for what you say you're going to do. So week 1, we started with just take action, call CMAs to your Moxie, do something. And that didn't get very prescriptive. Next week, we said, let's do 100 video texts to people on your phone saying happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. And a lot of you did the 100 texts and got really good response. Week 3, we did direct messages to either Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn to that group, which is different than the group in your phone. And then this week, we're going 101 direct messages or video text to your past clients or sphere of influence. And then 6 contacts to people you don't know, FSBO's expired. So that's a challenge. So it's a challenge extended to everybody here too. If you're not playing the mastermind group, you can still do this. Jackie, how long did it take you to send out 100 direct messages or video text? But she's about an hour and a half. Just think about it. 100 direct messages and a 5-day work week is 20 a day. How long would it take you to take 20 20-second videos, 10-second videos, right? Not long. And that's more work than most any real estate person's doing in the marketplace this week. I think it's super cool.
And the benefit of it is when you start talking to people, if you have the generalities that Jeff was telling the group about, is when you make 50 contacts, especially if they're 50 prospecting type contacts, that leads to 1 deal. For every 50 contacts, 1 deal. You see 100, 200, 300, approximately 400 contacts in the last 4 weeks.
It could be 8 transactions.
That's 8 possible deals that you're filling your pipeline with just from doing something that you probably should be doing anyway in your business and adding a couple extra contacts to it. doing just one more the next time.
Mm-hmm. The next slide, because I think it's okay, so E. Beggins is down. I don't know how it got down, but I pulled a different report because I want to show you. This is November 1st to November 30th, so it's last month, and then compared to same year prior month. So this is no BS, right? Today, yesterday and today, FAR, the Florida Association of Realtors, is having a broker mastermind. So I attended it yesterday. I'm gonna show you those notes in a few minutes, and that's today again from 1 to 3. We're just perfectly in line with everything they're saying. So I'm just gonna get some of these. We took 71 listings November last month. We did 94 the month before that. Right, so that's down 24%. Still at 72 listings. We opened $2.4 million in November last year. We only opened $1.4 million this year. Ouch, that hurts because that's going to follow into next month. Pendings, we had 6.8 million pending last year. We have $6.2 million pending this year, which is fantastic. What's the reason for that? Increased prices. Cancellations are higher. We had $778,000 in commissions canceled, 43 contracts canceled for $778,000 in commission versus 56 cancellations for 610. So our cancellations are going down, but again, they're higher sales prices. And then our closings, we did 1.8 million last year. We did 1.1 million this year. But you saw the hot sheet yesterday. We had 16 closings turned in, and it was after the cutoff for the month, so it's not going to count in that month. So we're really close, like 1.3 million, 1.4 million. But that's just where we're at, right? There's still business going on though, lots of it. And then next, I think I've got the slide that I want to see. Oh, let's do this real quick. This is I want to talk about. So Lawrence Yun is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He talked for an hour yesterday, and this kind of summarizes it. And I couldn't get it was a Zoom meeting, so I couldn't move his picture out of the screen, but you can get the idea. The question was, we've seen all these prices going up and all these sales going up, and you see that what happened in 2008 when the market just crashed. Why is that not going to happen again? And this is the best depiction I've seen of it. Back then, there were 8 million job cuts. Now, where's employment? Full employment. There's virtually no job cuts. Back then, there were 130 million people employed. Now, there's 153 million people employed, 23 more employed people. And then total jobs is people like us that don't really have real jobs and Uber drivers. There's 138 million employed now. Now it's 158 million. So another 20 million people are employed there. Subprime loans were prevalent then, and now there's virtually none. The 5-year cumulative to new home construction before the crash, we were building 7.65 million homes. And the market crashed, so you had all these homes that had to be sold, so they lowered the prices and dumped them in foreclosures and short sales. Now there's only 4.6 million home sales, which isn't even enough to keep up with the required demand. Inventory on the market in 2008, 3.8 to 4 million active listings. Now there's only 1 to 1.2 million active listings. So we have 25% of the inventory. Mortgage delinquencies were 10% then, or 3.6% now. And the number of homes in foreclosure were 4.6, almost 5%, and now it's 0.6% homes in foreclosure. He says, I'm not going to give you any opinions. This is just facts. What do you take from these facts? We're not going to see a crash. He actually said, it's possible we'll see prices because prices are up about 9% this year nationwide. And he made a lot of very positive comments about Florida. He said he's extended to stay in Florida for the next 5 more weeks. He just loves everything here. He says, your market is going to survive better than anybody else's. Because this was an FAR meeting, but it was chaired by the NAR. So I think that's just awesome. I need my notebook for this. Another speaker there was the chief counsel for the National Association of Realtors. And his name is, let's see. Oh, Lawrence also talked about the spread of rate between the 10-year bond and the mortgage rates. And when that spread is about 2%, rates are good. But we've had 2 instances where that spread has become very large, and that's what creates the rapid increase. And he said he expects that to come back to normal mid next year. So that's means we're going to have these higher, not high, higher interest rates in the 6 to 7 range, and then it should come back, but we're probably not going to see 4 again. Back in the day, before this boom we're experiencing now, the median income it took to buy the median home was $50,000 a year. And now $50,000 a year, you can't afford to buy a median home anymore. So that's one of the reasons the buyer demand is down. Nationwide, sales prices are up 5.7%. Closed transactions are down 32%. Pendings are down 38%, just what I showed you on our numbers, right? Active days on market, oh, sorry, list price to sales price ratio is 95%. So that's kind of right in line with normalcy. Active days on market, 22 days. It was 18 days. So it's just gone berserk. 18 days to 22, don't have makeup. Fresh listings, new listings on the market are down 20%. Why is that? People don't want to sell their houses because they got low interest rates and they can't replace them. Or they're keeping them and putting them on the rental market and buying something else. So that's why the fresh listings are down. And Florida's a hot spot. And then Matt Troiai, Troiai, is chief legal counsel. And he talked about 3 big law cases that we have to be aware of. One is called the rule of compensation litigation. It was denied for class action status, but it's a bunch of home sellers that got together and said it's unfair that home sellers unfairly are paying the buyer's broker. They think buyer's brokers should pay for their own thing. So they went to the Department of Justice, filed a lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors, said you got to change your buyer practices. And then there's another case called the Seitzer case, which is seeking class certification as well. And that's just for Missouri only, same thing, broker compensation is unfair. And that one was dismissed from court. And then the third lawsuit, same thing, unfair compensation. NAR went and did a settlement within 2 hours of the release of the complaint because they didn't want to fight it because it was wrong. So what we had to do, NAR agreed to strengthen their policies. They didn't admit to any wrongdoing, but they strengthened their policies. So realtors cannot say your service is free to a buyer unless it really is. And it's not, because the buyer is paying the money to the seller who's paying you. So we're not allowed to advertise our services as free. They required us now to show the buyer's agent's compensation on any internet marketing. So if you're on Zillow, it'll say what the buyer's agent's getting paid. So the buyer can be educated what they're getting paid. Not a big deal, but it does create a challenge. Oh, and there's a website called competition.realtor, which has a lot of talking points about these things, but write that down, competition.realtor. So that one case is basically compensation. And the thing out of that is now brokers can put any amount of compensation in the buyer's agent field. So responsible brokers like us, we're going to put our 3 and 3, right? 3%. But you're going to see compensations down to $0, $1, $1,000, a flat fee of 1%, any number they want, which is going to put you in an awkward position because the other thing we're not allowed to do is we're not allowed to sort out properties that we share with the buyer based on the compensation. Because brokers used to do that. I'll send you all the new listings on the market, Mr. Jones, but I'm going to take out the ones not paying 3%. So we're not allowed to do that anymore. And that's not fair anyway. But that leads us in the position where we're going to have a conversation and say, look, this broker's only paying $1. I can't represent you in this transaction. And we're going to stand up for our own value in some of those cases. So we'll start doing buyer agent training on that. Then the third speaker was on cybersecurity. I've got an email on that too, just to show you. She said, TikTok can gather malware, be careful. So that's not necessarily a very safe thing. The biggest problems are phishing, smishing, and vimishing. And that's what they're calling it. So phishing is those emails we get. Smishing is SMS messaging. You get a lot of those too, a lot. And then vimishing is voicemail phishing with stupid voicemails that are trying to get you to call back so they get your contact information. This is an email I got yesterday. Okay, so this is from Deloitte Global in New York City. Scott added, it looks like a legitimate address. to me, not showing my address. Hello, can you please advise you have payment out to us for the attached invoice number? Da, 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 da. Okay, and then I, Craig Began, sent an email to Joy saying, let's process HCH for the attached invoice from Deloitte, if possible today, see attached. But notice that this is not my email address. It's post@server-macroserver-officemicro365.com. And then Joy says, what do you think, Craig? Should we pay this? Probably. We should probably do this for a company that we have no idea about because you said so. We get these all the time, right? That's a phishing scheme, right? Sickening. And then they went on to talk about shared computers in your offices. And, not that you guys are doing anything wrong, but sometimes we leave passwords open, you leave your accounts open, and there's our people that are bad. So make sure you log out of shared machines. What else used to say? Don't open any links or attachments unless you know the sender. It's okay to call the sender and say, did you really send this to me if you're suspicious? And I want to remind you, your @c21be.com accounts are super secure. We pay $5 per month for every email address we have, and we have like 600 or 700 of them. But that's because they're two-step verification. They can't be hacked. So all of your correspondence really should be through the business account. So that was the big 3 topics on the mastermind yesterday. Today is FAR stuff. So I'll get more Florida information for you on that. So that'll be fun for me. This is some of the notes. This is hard to screenshot off my phone, but if an office computer is necessary, check it daily, ensure all safety programs are intact, ensure employee associates log out when they step away, run antivirus and drive cleaners. Never let a contractor use an office computer. Backup computers regularly after running antivirus activities. Help employees log out when they step away. Have employees. That type of stuff. That's enough to get the concept. But it's just interesting to try and pull the brokers together, and it's so much better than have to drive to Orlando to have that 2-hour meeting, because they make the meeting go faster and you don't have to spend 4 hours in the car. All right. 3 lies and a truth. You play the Otis game? What do you think the lie was about Otis? He was not raised in a fishing camp. Sammy called me this morning and told me that. She's not going to come on. We talked about the team members. We'll skip that for now. I've got 6 solid quality service samples coming up. Golden Ruler has now been added to your deal sheet. So if you want the staff to include the Golden Ruler reports to your seller, check the box on the sheet. If you don't, we're not going to do it. No penalty. It's just
It's in the bottom right of the deal sheet where your name and your information is, who's paying the transaction fee. Do you want the Golden Ruler to be added to this listing? Check the box if you want it.
And Moxie home news, that's left on from last week. MLS compliance refresher is a reminder, get her done. You got till after Christmas to get it done. Aaron Davis talked about his PR. Utility helpers did a class with me on Thursday. I sold a piece of property. I closed on it last week, and I totally forgot about this. And it's a piece of land, and it's got a garage with power and stuff. And after utility helpers, I called the guy, say, hey, by the way, did you get your utilities turned on? He goes, no. I said, don't worry, I'll take care of that for you. So I went to easy order for utility helpers, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I called the phone number, and the guy didn't answer the phone, but I left a number for him to call me back, and he called me back like in 3 minutes. Super nice. Said, here's the property address. He looked it up. He said, okay, I'll take care of it. I'll call the guy probably today, but maybe tomorrow. That was it. And he's going to help him get internet and all that stuff. So if you haven't done that, the key is utilityhelpers.com/easy. You sign up, and then what it's going to do, it's going to tie you into the MLS. So when you show up as the buyer's agent for a sale, utility helpers are going to send you an email asking you if you want to sign them up. So it's not going to be as automatic as Century 21's Move Easy Concierge, but it can be that easy if you do the easy sign up, right? That's pretty cool. Angelique always sends out last week's training app recaps. All the stuff is in my inbox. I should go look at that. Yeah, go to my inbox if you don't mind. Okay, I'll do it now. This was bad. Okay. That's in the slideshow. Oh, I want to share this with you. So this is our Zillow report, because we're talking about accountability, right? So this is our last 6 months percent to our targeted transactions. So we are at 119% of our targeted transactions. And then when you come down here, it's kind of small. It don't want to go that big. Our customer satisfaction score is 88. Our goal is 90. So we got to get that up, which means we have to ask for surveys. Our answer rate is at 73%. Our goal is 60. So we're smashing it there. Our work with rate is 34% and our goal is 35. That's when we have our first call with the customer and say, and then Zillow calls them back and said, are you planning to work with that agent? And they say yes, which is really strong. We're having a problem with their ALM, asking for an appointment, confirming their location, and asking them a motivation-based question. So whenever you talk to a lead, an internet lead, you want to ask for an appointment. You want to find out if that's the only location they're looking at, if they're considering others, and what their motivation or time to buy is. And so Zillow has artificial intelligence listening to all these calls and whatever keywords they have. If they say them, they give us points. And if we don't, we get dinged. So we're a little low on that. And there's our targeted transaction. And this is just stuff they're meeting with. And I thought it would be interesting for you guys to see just what accountability looks like when you're taking leads from a giant like Zillow. And this is our rate. So our appointment rate. And this is like, this is the top 10% of the market. And this is us. So we're at 100% of our appointment rate goal. Most everybody else at 76%. These aren't, we only had one, so that's all we could get. Anyway, I just thought this interesting to see and show you. It's a pain in the ass. It's really what it is, but it's good. Jimmy, my agent, sent me, I'm going to keep reminding you about this. This is the Life at Home newsletter, which was sent out by Moxie because I'm in Jimmy's database and he set me up to receive Life at Home newsletters. And I get it. And it's kind of cool. Should you buy a home that's part of it HOA? Winterproof your home before the squall hits. That's interesting. And cities that sparkle with holiday magic, just little stuff to keep him relevant to me. That's like a Florida home right there, isn't it? It's like my neighborhood. So that's a reminder for you to get your Moxie set up and get all your customers in there and put them on campaigns and then constantly build it and add to it. When you get people at open houses, add them to your Moxie, do all that stuff, treat it like a business. There's Angelique's training recaps. If you missed the utility helpers one, that's there too. This was the Aaron Davis link, you know what to say it, but it's pretty cool. Tampa Bay Area Brothers named among People Magazine's kindest people in America. That's a pretty cool title. And question was, do we have anybody to do fences and screens? I don't know if they do that or not. I don't think so. It's a question for them.
The concierge worked with Angie's List. So they took the top rated people from Angie's List in the area, and that's who they recommended when you asked for a service, unless they had a contract with them for like moving and some other insurance. They had some people that were part of that network, but anybody else, any like pizza, delivery food, if you ask them about any of those things, contractors, they went to Angie's List.
I forgot about that. That's right. And Sam's, I don't know if you guys have done this. You all said you liked the idea, but Sam and Jessica put together some scripts and we're trying to get you guys to do videos and send them out to your people because they're very real estate scripted, probing questions to make them think about real estate and position you as a leader. And Sammy said she hadn't seen many people post those yet, but they're in your inbox. Lisa Wilkinson, the marketing girl for Paramount title, also tomorrow, they're doing free headshots at the South Tampa office from 11 to 1. So if you need an updated headshot, Mr. Beggins, my brother, you need an updated shot for a couple reasons. Your son is now 6 and he's in your Zoom picture as an infant on the beach. So it's time to update that one. Is he still on here?
I am.
Turn your camera off and we'll see your picture. Because Kai is like 6 months old. So you can go to Southampton tomorrow and get a headshot. Long folder. That's all I got there. Okay. That's yours. This is mine. Don't be alarmed by this, but we did a research on the MLS, and this has nothing to do with you because you don't pay these. But there's a lot of brokers now charging MLS fees in Hillsborough and Pinellas County that are more than what we're charging. We haven't raised our fees in years. So we're going to raise our MLS fee. You know, when it says 3% minus 300, now it's going to be 3% minus 425. So we're going to raise that fee, but it doesn't, you're not paying it. So don't worry about it.
And when you look at it, that's about the average. When we went through and pulled all the information are anywhere from $295 to $595 for MLS fees. And there's no correlation between brokerages. Most of the time, it's pretty much the agent just saying, okay, let's charge more. So you see a lot of them, they're the same brokerage had 5 different MLS fees. We're just trying to keep it consistent, keep it right in the average. We pay more of these than we collect on listings. So really it's also a way for us to try and balance out a little bit because we're putting more listings on the market. It will help balance out how much we're paying in them since we're paying so much more whenever we sell one to $595, $495 for some of these other companies.
Yeah. And some of them are only offering us 2% minus 595. And
So
we're
if we're going to hold a standard, we're going to hold our standard at the 3%. We're going to continue to hold that standard. If we're going to get that standard, then we're going to charge that same average MLS fee. They're giving us less and still charging that. So we're just trying to balance it out a little bit more and hold our standards.
Mm-hmm.
When is that going to come into play?
Today.
Well, anything going in today, moving forward will be at 3% minus 425. Anything that's currently in inventory will not be affected. It's going to stay.
It's not even on your listing agreement. It's not on the buyer's cost estimate because it doesn't affect any of those people. It just goes to outside brokerage.
Fellas, I think it's important to also note this is cost neutral for us. It's just the expense that we're leveraging against the competition and against our buyer's agent.
And I noticed something else here. Let's see. Priorities, your sphere of influence of past clients in your CRM with campaigns launched. I keep saying that. That's got to be a priority as the market's slowing down right now before the holidays. Great time to invest an hour or two a day, learning Moxie and getting used to it. Your lead pipeline, what Lauren was talking about was don't even bother prospecting if you've got leads in your database. Follow up with those leads first. Right? There's no sense in going to get new ones if you're going to ignore your old ones because your old ones are taking 6 months to a year to get accustomed to the market changes. That works. Your new leads added to nurture campaigns. It's got to become automatic. You're getting new leads. You met the lead at the store, put on a nurture campaign of some sort with a first, right? And then download your phone contacts using Copy Export and load them into Moxie so we can get all those contacts done. This week's leads, 189, up from 121 last week. 95 from Century 21. That's huge. That's Century 21 plus Zap. It's not Zappo, it's Zap plus Ojo. I have to retype this every week. I copy the snippet from here and I paste it to Excel so I know where to type and then I type it. Reloads a little bit slower this week. Up City 10, much bigger than the week before. Walk-ins were 8 over 6. Sign calls 32 over 28. Those are your high quality leads. Zillow Flex, we got 5 this week versus 3 last week. Nobody's using social ad engine. And I noticed a big spike in rentals, which is why. No, because we're starting to take rental listings because your past clients don't want to sell their houses. They'd rather put them up for rent because their mortgage payments down here and their rent payments are up here, and they can use the spread to make the payment on their new house and leverage their old house. So we're going to see a lot more of your sellers not putting them on the market for sale, put them on the market for rent. And there's a website called Zumper that I guess we feed our rental listings to. And those are 15 Zumper leads. So that was interesting to see too.
And that's one of the reasons why they're saying that it's not going to be a crash like everybody's looking. Our inventory is going to stay low.
We're at 25% where we were 8 years ago.
The inventory is going to continue to stay low. The people that are going to buy another home, like you said, if they don't need to pull the cash out and they could qualify for a new property, putting a lower down payment down, they're just going to rent it, pull the cash flow out of it because their interest rate is so low, which means we're losing another home that goes on the market. So inventory is going to stay low. There's going to be competition from buyers. Interest rates are going to balance out a little bit. We're going to continue to see some forward progress in the market.
And prices are going to be high because demand is going to be high, and demand is what makes prices go up. Birthdays this week. Tony Rita was yesterday. Jack Marola is on the 8th. Ashley Diaz on the 8th. My mom on the 9th. And Jeff's mom is on the 9th. Angela Fernandez is on the 10th. Soraya Lloyd on the 10th as well. And Chrissy Seal in Sun City on the 11th. Andrea DiFilippo on the 12th. Chad Ellis as well on the 12th, along with Tony. It's on there twice. He's really the 4th. And Marvin Rodriguez from Brandon on the 12th. And then this is amazing to me because it makes me really feel old. But Raquel is celebrating her 22nd year with us. Raquel Arredondo. She was a dental hygienist and she worked part-time for us. And she did well as a dental hygienist, but they just added to her business. And 22 years later, she's now back out of that business full-time into real estate and doing deals. Ken Tison, 18 years. That's a lot. Jessica Decker, 2006. That's 16 years for Jessica Decker. We have a staff holiday party on Friday. We're taking all the staff, so we'll be short staffed in the offices, but they deserve it. Ann Wilson, 12, so that's 10 years. 14, that's 6, that's 8 years for Chris Kennedy. Diane Krikorian, 7 years. 7 years for Darby. Darby, 7 years. Wow. Mindy Smith, will be 6 years. And Steve Roll will be 6 years, 5 years for Steve Howard. So Steve at the Halloween or the holiday party. Carlin Armstrong. Wow. Mike, that's a long time ago. 4 years for Carlin already. Yvonne Rocca, 19. So that's 3 years. 3 years for Heather Rowland. 3 years for Joseph Darby. Sully Brandio, 2 years. 2 years for Lee Gregory. 2 years for Sari Trout. 2 years for Claire King. And then 1 year anniversaries for Crystal Booth, Washington. Brenda Nicholson, Jalen Burning. He's a repeat. He left and came back. Angelina Carr, 1 year anniversary. Shannon Smith, 1 year anniversary. And Kim Bennigan left and came back for this whole year also. So that's pretty cool. I like to say that longevity. And then there's your 2023 award ranking. So as you're doing your big ass goal fishing experiments, 165. They didn't change it from 2022. So that's your start to masters. So if you're going to set a goal, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I know it still says 2022, but they released last year. They're doing the same numbers in 2023. It's not going to change.
I'll find the newer version.
But it's the same thing. 2023 is going to be the same as this year.
My next slide says the end. Anything else? Managers, Jeff, you want to contribute anything?
I just want to push everybody into the mastermind, whether you're in it or not, just show up. Because just when you hear how great these people, all the agents are doing, it's going to be an inspiration. It's going to push you through it and just remind us that we still got a good chunk of time left this month and be ready to build up 2023. So that'll be at 10:30 on Friday. And so you'll see the emails. Just come in and join. And the more you participate, the better you'll do. It's just we've got an amazing group of top producers. We've got an amazing group of newbies. We got everything in between. And we're just missing you if you're not in there.
And it's really not much. To do 100 a week puts you at this level above everybody else who's screwing around. And 100 a week is 20 a day, which is maybe 30 minutes worth of work a day. You can all do that. And it's going to just stock the bond for next year. So let's not be the ones who take a nap. If you got a microphone. Is it relevant for the whole company or we're doing the Paul Beach meeting? Okay. Got a whole set of Yeti cups.
So I started calling my FSBOs, which is our requirement for the mastermind. And the third one I called, I started talking to him and I told him who I was. And he said, I will never do any business with a Century 21 agent. So I stopped for a minute and I said, okay, I'm sorry. We'll have a good day. And I hung the phone up. And then I thought about it. And you know me, I don't ever let anything go. So I texted him and I said, I'm not sure what happened, but on behalf of Century 21, I'm apologizing to you for whatever it was that happened to you. And not all of us are created equal. And he came back and said, you're right. I'm sorry I reacted like that. Give me a call. And I did.
Good for you. She's short, but she's mighty. Bam.
Lauren said so many people are telling me the agents they know are literally not working now. It's our time to scoop these folks up. Every single person, I love this statement that Craig says all the time. Every single person who owns a home used a realtor when they bought that home, more than likely. So any new agent coming into the business should never have an opportunity to get any new business because everybody who owns a home used a realtor when they bought it. If we did our jobs, none of you that were new into business would have an opportunity to get business. So right now, here's your opportunity to take some business from those people who represented another person when they bought that home. Start talking to them, start having those conversations. You're going to become top of mind with them. We've already seen it.
And stand up for yourself.
Otis's story about putting a listing on the market, selling it in 4 days when another agent told her that, oh, nothing sells over the holidays. There's plenty of people. We had another one said, well, I don't know if I want to put it on during the holidays. Plus, I'm going to want a little bit more than what the market would bear for it. We talked to her about it. She's reasonable about the price. We get the right number for her. She puts it on the market and chose us over another agent.
Showing up. I'm preaching.
Having said that, if anyone doesn't want to work this holiday and they get an opportunity, send it my way. I'll help you out. I'm hunting.
All right, let's break off to individual groups. Thanks, everybody. There's snoozing time for them to start losing. There you go.